Yo, what's up? It's your boy Carcino here once again, and let's go through it. Now, before, when I was having this conversation, I was saying to people, I said, wow, let's try to get this thing understood. Boxing revolved around Floyd Mayweather so much, and y'all hated him. Once he left, he's been gone for over a year in retirement. Y'all are still on the same note. You haven't changed one bit. Man, these dudes, man, they scary. Such and such is ducking. What's his name? He ducking. This guy is ducking. And I told you, back then, even when Floyd was fighting, this behavior happens in boxing. It's always about the money. It's always about business. It's always about what's next. It's not about, who's got it right now? When can I get it? Is it my turn? I just want to fight the best fighters and want to be known as the best. They want to be known as the best by the internet. They want to be known who's the best by who got the biggest chain on. They want to know who's the best by everything that doesn't equivalent to getting in the ring and beating somebody up. They want to get the maximum dollar for their return and for their worth. I mean, after all, they're getting punched in the face. But here's the thing. These guys have now become what you despise. And this is why I think they should get paid like NBA athletes, meaning that they should have contracts that says this is what you get paid. All this fight-by-fight negotiations is what's screwing up the sport. This is why you can't have certain fights. If they were under contract, they get paid regardless of what's the outcome. You can get money on the back end of the fight if it's a major fight, but you're under contract, so you're going to fight who we got on the table. If you want to co-promote it and put your promotional company in there and get a bigger piece of the pie, that's fine. But you have to fight this person because you are under contract. That's what needs to happen. Because all of a sudden you got all these guys making these maneuvers and I'm holding out. I'm going to see what they going to offer me here. And we had the most internet-made fights ever. You see Amir Khan, he was about to in talks to fight everybody, right? David Haye, he's in talks to fight everybody, right? You got all these guys in talks. None of these guys are fighting. Everybody's talking, though. But nobody's fighting. We got Jacobs versus Klitschko coming. We got this fight coming. People don't know who's fighting whom. Because all the boxing websites, and I don't blame the boxing websites, because, we owe one ourselves, so. But we're not blaming the boxing websites. We're blaming all of these other promoters who don't even want to make the fight. If a fighter's hot, they're gonna attach their name to him and say, "Oh well, we wanna fight that guy," and such and such said he's willing to fight him, just so they can keep the fighter's name in lights. Arum is good with using that with Floyd Mayweather, and it ran its course. But still, they use the same philosophy for Manny Pacquiao's opponents. Whoever's hot. Oh, yeah, we'll fight Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia. Well, yeah, that's an option. Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman name is out there, so saying Pacquiao will fight the winner brings the interest over to check out what's going on with Manny Pacquiao. It's, brand marketing at its finest. They kept that Mayweather-Pacquiao thing going for so long, and y'all were screaming up and down at the fights that were being made. They were actually making fights at that time. Now these guys are not making fights. Then what's the excuse? You want to blame Al Heyman? You want to blame all these others? Blame the fighter. Saying, why you not fighting this guy? Hey, why are you not fighting this guy? You were supposed to fight this guy. Why did it fall apart? Oh, they just threw his name out there just to get some buzz going that he's coming back. These guys care more about social media than actual fighting. And it's starting to rub people the wrong way. And that's why people are saying, oh, well, I'm going, UFC is killing boxing because UFC, see, they just go ahead and fight. They're a part. UFC is a company. Boxing is a sport. There's two different narratives. There's no one corporation that runs boxing. So they can say, well, this is who you have to fight. And UFC, which is MMA, is the sport. UFC makes more than MMA. So it's the biggest company going in their sport. But the next thing that's number 2 is Bellator. And after that, it falls all the way to the bottom where some guys making $50 a night doing MMA fights. And then most of those cards get canceled because they don't have the financial backing. They don't have the medical to even put on for the insurance in case somebody's hurt. So they can't really put MMA fights on like that anymore. So you're looking at a situation in which all of these fights have become dangerous. They deem dangerous on the level, on the surface of everything. Like, look, these things are dangerous. We can't be putting these fights on. These people are going to get themselves hurt. It's a major thing that we got to look at and make a decision on, because I can't even go further into this. So why in the world are we going to sit up here and risk fighters getting into the ring when we don't have the budget? So UFC always wins because they have the budget to do everything they need to get done. Now, these fighters, there's fights to be made. They're squeezing out. They want an extra $200,000. Oh, I got paid 1.5 for this fight. Oh, I think I need to get 3 for this. Now they're being their own negotiators. They've been spoiled to death. And they're going to say, oh, well, that's because Al Heyman was paying them. It's not the case. The case ain't about somebody that's getting paid what they're supposed to get. The thing is, they're not grateful to know that you're not going to be getting that fight all the time. You can't get that same purse every time. It depends on the actual fight. But you need to make some fights. You got to start getting in the ring. That goes for all these fighters. All these fighters think they're the A. I'm the A side. I'm not going to be the B side. Somebody has to be the B side. Why can't it be 2 A's, A1 and A2? Call it what you want, but this guy gets more. Why? Why? I'm not fighting, and there's no fight. I'll wait on this guy. You guys are going to ruin the sport with this ridiculousness that you're doing. From David Hayes to the Amir Khans to the Adrian Broners, you guys have to start fighting people. You can't go around here nitpick and go, oh, I'm going to get Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns is just trying to come back. I mean, why would you want Ricky Burns? Ricky Burns is not even in the way of anything. Go fight some of these guys who are the champion. You supposed to be the big dog, right? You the number 1 fighter in the sport after Floyd. So you say, prove it. Keith Thurman is out here trying to prove it. Danny Garcia, he's going to fight Keith Thurman. They're out here. They finna try to prove it. You know, and everybody can say what they want. And what I can't understand is people still screaming about this Sammy Vargas, Vasquez, whatever. And I'm like, well, Sammy Vargas is a tune-up. Hello. That's what it is. He's been out of the ring since January. So, yes, this tune-up is necessary. They tried to get a fight in October. It wasn't feasible, meaning that they could have put the fight on, but it wasn't going to generate anything for them. They couldn't get a venue. They have to relocate, move around cards and dates because there's not enough venues going on when there's too much happening right now with baseball. The Dodgers are playing, and, you can't have these things going on simultaneously. It would kill your event. So there's a lot of things the fans just don't understand when it comes to boxing or the business side of it. They just know the fights. But it's up to these fighters to start fighting people. Klitschko's been doing this for years. They've been milking this, picking who they want to fight. Oh, there's no heavyweights. There were heavyweights out there. You just chose not to fight them. Now Gennady Golovkin's doing the same thing. Gennady Golovkin will fight anybody. No, he won't, because Erislandy Lara has been sitting there the whole time saying, I will fight you. They don't want to fight Lara. Why is that? Because Lara would make him look bad. Yes, people say, well, he'll knock Lara out. Well, okay. You have no fight going on right now. Why not fight Lara? Is it the money? No, it's not the money. They was like, man, just pay us that. We'll come and fight you. What, you about to pay him that, so just pay us that and we good. The fight can be made. They don't want the fight. They don't want to fight Lara. But yet, they went and fought a guy at 147 and had him come up 2 weight classes to fight him. So, what does that tell you? They've had numerous chances to fight Erislandy Lara. They do not want that fight for him. Why is it? Because it's an ugly fight for Gennady Golovkin. Would he hurt Lara? He might. But Lara's going to throw some shots that might get his attention, might ring his bell, might hurt him, might slip a lot of those punches that he's throwing, and still come back with shots. It's a very slippery fight, and they don't like it. They rather hold out for big money, because that's what K2 is about, big money. They're shady promoters. Well, they're very hard promoters, and what they say they don't budge on. So, finally, we have a fight between J-Rock and Charlo. Jamal Charlo. Is going to be December 10th in L.A., and hopefully we can get this, going with these young fighters, 2 undefeated fighters fighting each other for the championship the way it's supposed to be. Why is it so difficult to get these fights going? I don't know. Charlo wasn't 100% healed from a cut he had from his first fight, so I understand that. And I like the fact that they were able to reschedule the fight and keep everything on an even keel so that they can, move forward with what's going on. We can get these young guys fighting each other and, get some of these older fighters who don't want to do it out of the way. You're taking up space. We don't need you coming in here trying to suck up one big fight for some money and go. Miguel Cotto, is you going to fight or you're not going to fight? Rock Nation, we don't need you to try to capitalize on making some money on the sport because you overpaid one guy for a fight. You overpaid Miguel Cotto more than it's worth because you thought that you can get all these major fights with him and that you can't. Now you're looking at Tim Bradley. Now you're looking at a rematch with Cotto because, with Canelo, because that was the only fight that you did that made any money. You couldn't get the Marquez deal done. You wasted an entire year and a summer and lost all that money because now you're like, we didn't make a dime. I'm like, yep, you didn't make a dime. And Jay-Z's like, look, I'm done with it. Do what y'all want to do with the boxing thing. So that's where you at with it right now. Poorly managed Rock Nation. All the money they was throwing around, all the promises, now you got fighters trying to get out of there. It's like a fire sale because they had the plan that they had in place did not make sense and wasn't realistic. That's why Gary Shaw said, I'm getting out and I'm retiring because I can't partner with this. This guy, they're very delusional if they think what they trying to do is going to work. Not in this sport. So now, what that leave us to? We're going to have a hot year to end the year. Yes, boxing has always surged in Novembers and December. They've always had great cards to end it out because baseball is over with. That's out of the picture. You got a lot of stuff getting ready to come back into play like the NBA and all these other events that's getting ready to kick back off in the regular season. People don't jump on it right away. The first couple of weeks of the NBA season is just like still preseason. A lot of people not jumping out of the gym on the NBA until like when it gets near All-Star break. Then that's when people start really paying attention. They'll watch the Christmas game, Thanksgiving, and all that. But other than that, that All-Star break is when they start paying a little bit more attention. So I just want to clear the scale on it so we can sit back and talk about boxing for a minute. I do get y'all questions. Y'all ask me, man, you got to do more boxing videos. Brother, there has been nothing going on in boxing. Believe me, I've been on the other side of phone calls trying to communicate with people about fights, things that's supposed to be taking place, like Freza Kendo versus Shannon Briggs. They're trying to get a bidding to go around to get a purse bid on this fight to see if they can get that fight made. Shannon Briggs was supposed to fight David Haye, but we know what that's all about. David Haye, his name is all over the place fighting people, but yet he's going to fight some cab driver in the next fight. Will he fight Tony Bello, who called him out on all his BS? We don't know, but something needs to be said for that. Something needs to be done. So let's get it on. That's my opinion on this thing, man. It's like so much is gone by. So much time has been wasted. Too much, in my opinion. So we need to get this show on the road. That's just how I feel. Y'all tell me what y'all think. It's your boy Carcino. I'm out. Forgot something. Follow the playlist. I'm at Carcino on Twitter and at Carcino on Instagram. I'm out.